Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Welcome back to Spanish Lessons with Professor Jason. My topic today is the Spanish alphabet, the polite or the formal commands verb system of Spanish. Differences between the Spanish prepositions por and para. Dialects of Spanish, the pronunciation of vowel sounds. Two Spanish verbs that tend to cause problems for English-speaking learners. What the subjunctive mood is and when it should be used. The a personal or the personal a. How to form the imperfect or past subjunctive, the forms of the future tense in Spanish. Now, assuming we're talking about these kinds of dual clause sentences, we still have to consider the nature of the meaning conveyed by the verb in the main clause. As a general rule, preterite forms are used to narrate completed actions in the past. For example, yo pedí una ensalada. Yo pedí una ensalada. Ellos llegaron anoche. Okay, those are completed actions in the past. Technically, the word tense refers to the time frame in which actions take place, present, past, or future. And some of you may be familiar with the idea that in Spanish, the two past tenses, imperfect and preterite, differ in terms of aspect. Another characteristic of Latin American pronunciation is the softening or the loss of the D sound when it appears between vowels or at the end of words. Now let's take a look at some examples of usage in the imperfect. Yo estudiaba mucho. I used to study a lot. Ella miraba televisión mientras cocinaba. In José lee el cuento, the short story, el cuento is the noun, singular and masculine, that directly receives the action of that main verb. It's important to realize that this is a formula that triggers the subjunctive. Then we have a second subject, which is important because to have the subjunctive, this subject and this subject, in our examples, mamá y tú, have to be different people. So we have say and the verb, but in between we're inserting an indirect object pronoun. ¿Qué haces cuando llueve? ¿Qué haces cuando hace calor? I go out with my friends. Salgo con mis amigos. Voy a la playa. Voy a la playa. All right, well that concludes my presentation on some of the most common uses of this little particle say in Spanish, on the differences between the verbs saber and conocer. On my overview of the subjunctive, I hope you found it to be helpful and informative. You can also find more content on my website. It's professorjason.com. Also, make sure to join my Facebook community. That's facebook.com/professorjason. All right. You can also follow me on Twitter. My feed is professor_Jason. Thanks again for watching. This has been Professor Jason, your guide to Spanish online, and I'll see you at the next lesson. Hasta pronto. Ciao.